What's up, Tricology family? Welcome back to another episode of the Tricology News Talk, and I hope y'all had a great and awesome 4th of July weekend this past weekend. So without further ado, let's get started with some news today. So let's hit right up the top with some sports news. So in case y'all didn't know, if y'all saw my Instagram stories, I attended the AEW Dynamite, aka Road Rager, that happened at the James L. Knight Center in Miami. And let me tell you something, that was a good experience. It's like the good old days from WWE, but with AEW's flavor into it. Like, it was a full house. It was the first show since last year that they had live fans in attendance from the pandemic. So this was their first show on the road, and the show was great. So I'm just going to quickly break down for all the wrestling fans out there, and of course, like all the sports news that I'm going to be covering. That's going to be for the Respect the Comment podcast, and we will be taking a break due to personal reasons, but I will try to cover as much of Respect the Combat news here on the Tricology News as possible. So without further ado, let's get started with everything that happened at AEW Dynamite Road Rager. So further at the top, you had Cody Rhodes defeated QT Marshall in a South Beach strap match. So they went with the old school rules as far as the strap, and you had to touch all four corners in order to win. So, like at the end of the match, like the whole crowd was into it, and then first off, like it started off slow at the beginning, and then right up to it at the end, the whole crowd was in it. So it was a pretty good match to start with. So, and so up there, and then we got a little segment with Shawn Spears and Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara getting payback on Shawn Spears that what happened last week to him. So and then we go into another segment with the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega that led to the Dark Order coming to the ring, and all chaos happened. Then the Good Brothers come in, and then before you know it, Hangman Adam Page come in, and then we got a stare down with Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega. So that match could happen down the road at some point, maybe at Fight for the Feather, or maybe all the way to All Out. So, in case y'all didn't know, they was former tag team champions together, so that could be a history rivalry that could happen. Excuse me. One second. Yeah, excuse me. I caught a little cold, but I'm back. So after that segment, then Jim Ross, good old Jim Ross, sit down with Ethan Page and Darby Allin. We were supposed to get a first ever AEW coffin match with Ethan Page and Darby Allin, but that got moved due to PR reasons after everything that happened with the Surfside Miami Condo incident that happened. So I felt like that was a good move to postpone it to next week, because you don't want to put that match with everything that's happening with the with everything that's happening with the Surfside condo that's happening. So we are getting this match in next week during night 1 Fyter Fest in Austin, Texas. So that's going to be very interesting. So next up, we have the Pinnacle of FTR Warlow versus the Inner Circle with Santana Ortiz and Jake Hager. So the Pinnacle got a win over in the trios match. Next up, we have MJF and Chris Jericho in the ring. So they agreed to have a third final match, but MJF laid out his stipulations is that you got to win 4 matches in order to get a match with MJF. So Chris Jericho agreed, and then by the end of it, he knocked him out with the Jewels of Effect. And then backstage, you had the AEW Women's World Champion Britt Baker talked about her upcoming match with against Nyla Rose on night 2 of Fyter Fest for the title. And then afterwards, we had the debut match of Andre Idolo versus Matt Sydal. Of course, we all know Andre is gonna win. That's no surprise there. And then after that, we got a video promo with Matt Hardy and Christian Cage. They're gonna have their match next week on Fyter Fest Night 1. And then after that video promo, yeah, we saw Art Ennis in the ring. Lights out. Before you know it, Aleister Black, or Tommy N, or Malachi Black, whatever you call him, he has arrived. Not only kicked Art Anderson, but also kicked Cody Rhodes with black mask in the face. Wow. All I gotta say, wow. And I'm gonna give my opinion on that, and also with the Selena Vega situation in the moments after this. But next up, you had the Blade and the Bunny against Chris Stanliner and Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy and Stanliner pick up the win. And then the main event that featured Eddie Kingston and Penta Ezio versus the Young Bucks in a street fight for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. The Young Bucks retain. There's no surprise there. So I'm just wondering which team is going to take the titles from them. So other than that, that was a great show. I think the biggest surprise of the show was Aleister Black, Tommy and Malachi Black showing up in AEW. So, and I know for sure he's going to do great things in AEW, better than what he did in WWE. And speaking of that, as you all know, his wife, Selena Vega, is back in WWE. And this begs the question, why did she go back? After what happened to her when she got fired in the first place, after a tweet about unionization and her not giving up her third world party bands such as Twitch, and also creating an OnlyFans account. So, I don't know why. So, to me, her coming back to the WWE, it just sets her up for another failure, another burial. That's just my opinion on that. So she just sets her up for failure. I'm sorry. She could have just went to AEW, be the mouthpiece again for Andrade. But it is what it is. But moving on. So, as of last Tuesday, the NBA Finals have started. And this is a very interesting NBA Finals. So, we have the Milwaukee Bucks, the Eastern Conference champions, versus the Phoenix Suns, the Western Conference champions. And this is very interesting. So, as for the Bucks, they're going for their first title since the 70s. I repeat, the 70s is when they won the last NBA title. And then for the Suns, they're going for their very first title. They ain't never won a championship. So, again, this is very interesting. There we go. So, as you all know, I'm going for I'm going for the Suns to win it all because I want one of my boys, Chris Paul, as a good neighbor, State Farm is there, for the commercials, to win the NBA Finals, and I'm probably going to predict it's going to be a 4-3 as far as the series goes. But yeah, that's my pick to win the whole NBA Finals. And moving on, as you know, this Saturday we have UFC. $264 coming up this Saturday. So, as from the card, as we're looking at here, so starting off with the welterweight match with Sean O'Malley versus Chris Matatou. So I'm going with Sean to win this match, and then the women's welterweight match with Irene Adolin versus Yakina Kosami. So this is gonna be this is a very toss-up match, but I'm gonna have to say Yaga will get the win on that one. And then in the heavyweight class match we have Ty Tosavan versus Greg Hardy. So I think Ty gonna get that win on that one. And then the co-main event, a welterweight match with Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Thompson. So Gilbert Burns gonna get a win on that one. And then the main event, the light heavyweight match with Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor. So again, another toss up here, but even though I want to say Conor McGregor, but I think Dustin might get the win on that one. So that's my predictions for this Saturday's UFC 264. And yep, that's my the prediction for that. And then moving on to the next topic. So we got some more updates as it pertains to the 2021 Olympics. So it says here that from Yahoo Sports that Japan declares a state of emergency. Olympics still on, but without fans in Tokyo. And this is what they said. The Japanese government on Thursday announced that it will be restricted measurements to counter COVID-19 surges in the capital to make sure it takes effect next week. And last duration of the games will officially begin on July 23rd and end August 8th. Hours after the announcement, Olympics organizations walked back their previous decision to allow spectators to attend the event. Following an urgent late-night meeting, they announced that there's no fans at the competitions held in Tokyo and other reasons affected by the state of emergency. Organizations have not yet made a final decision on whether they bar fans from the events held anywhere around the country. Some soccer and baseball software games, among other events, will be held in regions not covered by the emergency measures. In those regions, local government authorities will meet and declare special measurements and consult with the local governments based on the situation at each arena. So, I mean, it is what it is, but I don't know how it is in as far as the COVID-19 spread in Japan. But I guess they got to do what they got to do to keep everyone safe, social distancing. I mean, we still in this pandemic situation, even though we are getting the vaccines here in America. I don't know how the other countries is. They're trying to get back on their feet, but again, it is what it is. But we're still excited to see the Olympics coming up, and when it got postponed last year, and we're finally going to be able to get it. So that's a good important thing, and also a good important thing to keep everyone safe as far as it is. But yeah. So moving on from that. That's all the sports news that is happening, and I'm moving on to the next topic. So Peacock will become a pay one partner for all Universal movies after HBO deal expired at the end year. So here's what it says during the deadline. As Universal pay TV partnership with HBO expired at the year's end, the studio's streaming service Peacock will officially take place starting into 2022. All Universal Films and Entertainment Group's theatrical releases starting next year will play on Peacock during each pay one partner TV window, which in the 21 days after the title theatrical release, each movie will come available on Peacock for an extended exclusive 4-month window, followed by a last 4 months in a traditional 8-month pay one period. During the middle 10 months, the studio film product will be licensed to additional partners. Prior to the pandemic, theatrical releases typically hit pay cables to channels some 22 days following their theatrical release. Under the new Peacock deal, there's significant window crunch. I'm told that when all UFE movies will go through a typical POD and home entertainment sale through a theatrical window before arriving at Peacock. So, as you already know, one of the new movies, Boss Baby 2 Back in Business, was in theaters and also streaming on Peacock. So that begs the question. So we don't know how the success did with Boss Baby 2 being playing in theaters and also streaming on Peacock. We don't know the what happened there, how much is it going to be. So this is very interesting. So as you already know, a lot of studio companies are trying to get the rights back from certain companies. As you know, HBO is a Warner Media company. As so it is going to be very interesting to see how that's going to unfold. But it is what it is. So it's going to be excuse me. Yeah, so don't expect to see a lot of Universal movies be on HBO Max for too long, as they are going to be transitioned to the transfer over to Peacock. So that's what I'm seeing as far as the article that they're saying. So that's how it's gonna be. But moving on. So this one is gonna be this was another sad news, as you already know. In the past couple of days, Richard Donner has passed away. So in case you don't know, he directed one of the greatest superhero movies, Superman, and also did a lot of great other movies such as The Goonies and one of the best buddy cop franchise movies, Lethal Weapon. So as far as that, I didn't pay to when I was a lot younger. I didn't pay attention to a lot of the credit names, a lot of the filmmakers' names, until I got a little bit older. So yeah. So I just want to say thank you, Richard Donner, for making our childhood dreams magical. And so yeah. So rest in peace, bro. And so without further ado, moving on to the next topic. This one is gonna be a movie review, and this is gonna be on the Tomorrow War, which it was streaming on Amazon Prime. This was directed by Chris Mackay. So he did both of the Lego Movie, and also he was a part of the Robot Chicken series. So, and this also stars Chris Pratt in this movie. So my initial thoughts, this was way longer than it should have been. Even though this was like 2 hours and 11 minutes, but it felt like a 3-hour movie. And, but other than that, Chris Pratt did good. The little girl who played Chris Arthur's daughter in the movie, she also did great in the movie, and I felt like she did great than the other adult movie adult actor in this film. So other than that, this movie was definitely made for streaming. Before Amazon picked up the rights, but it was intentionally made for theaters. So I'm glad that Amazon pick up the rights to let it stream on Prime, and yeah. So yeah, the action, the concept, the performances again from Chris Pratt and Samuel Richardson, and yeah, the movie it was good. It was good, but again, like I said, the runtime was kind of too long, in my opinion. So yeah, but I'll give this movie a C plus. But yeah, and that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know in the comment section below. What are your thoughts and opinions that I discussed today? If you're watching on YouTube, and of course, if you're listening on Anchor, Google Podcasts, and Spotify, go into the link in the description below to the YouTube link and post your comments there as well. And other than that, this is Trico, and I'm signing off. Peace.